Do you hear it? That silence between the stars.
The first alien message did not come from the stars. It came from beneath the bones of Mars, and when Commander Elara Voss heard it, it said her name. By the time the transmission reached Earth Command, 37 people were already dead. Not from war, not from sabotage, from silence. The mining colony at Acheron Station had gone dark in less than 6 minutes. No distress call, no signs of attack, only one final audio fragment recovered from the station's black box. Breathing. Static. Then a woman whispering 3 words. "It knows me." After that, nothing. Mars had always been a graveyard dressed as a frontier. Red dust, buried metal, dead storms rolling across broken colonies and forgotten machines. Acheron Station sat deep, inside the Valles Marineris trench, built over ancient rock no one cared to study until the drills broke through something that was not stone. The miners thought it was metal. Then the signal began. Low frequency, perfect repetition, not random, not natural, a pulse, a pattern, a voice buried for longer than human history. That was when Earth sent Elara Voss. Commander Elara Voss had the kind of face people trusted in a crisis. Sharp eyes, still voice, calm under pressure. She was the youngest deep space recovery commander in fleet history, famous for surviving the Europa collapse and bringing 12 civilians home through a frozen radiation storm. But fame was not why they chose her. They chose her because she had spent her life listening to things no one else could hear. As a child, Elara used to wake in the middle of the night and describe stars she had never seen. She would draw impossible constellations on her bedroom walls. Her mother called it dreaming, her father called it pattern obsession, the military called it intuition. Elara called it noise, a feeling, a pressure in the mind, as if something very far away had always been trying to speak. At 32, she had stopped talking about it. She had learned that silence made people comfortable. So when Earth Command sent her to Acheron, she took the mission without question. Official objective: recover survivors. Identify signal source. Contain any unknown threat. Unofficial objective: find out why the signal responded only to her voice. The descent to Mars was quiet. Too quiet. Elara sat in the cockpit of the retrieval ship Orpheus, watching the red planet rise beneath her like an open wound. Beside her sat Dr. Soren Vale, xenolinguist, civilian observer, and the only man in the room who looked excited by the death count. Soren was brilliant, pale, and annoyingly calm. He had spent 15 years studying theoretical alien cognition, a field most scientists treated like religion with equations. He believed intelligent life had already touched humanity long before first contact. No one important took him seriously, which made him dangerous. "You've read the black box transcript?" Elara asked. Soren nodded. 23 times. "And?" He looked at her. "I think the station didn't go silent." He paused. "I think something answered." Acheron Station was still powered when they arrived. That was the first impossible thing. The colony should have been dead. Instead, its lights glowed beneath the dust storm like a heartbeat under skin. No movement in the windows. No comms, no heat signatures beyond maintenance systems, but power remained. Waiting. Elara led the entry team through the main airlock. 6 Marines, Dr. Vale, and silence so complete it felt alive. The station was untouched. No blood, no blast damage, no decompression, meals still warm in the mess hall, cards scattered across a rec table, a child's shoe in the corridor. Then they found the bodies, 37 colonists, all seated, all facing the same direction, all staring toward the lower excavation lift. No wounds, no signs of struggle. Their faces were peaceful, not fear, not pain, wonder, as if they had died watching heaven open. One of the Marines whispered, "Jesus." Then the lights flickered. The station hummed, and far below them, Something woke up. The signal hit Elara like a knife behind the eyes. She dropped to one knee, hand against her temple. A pulse, a voice, not sound. Thought, ancient, vast, lonely. Elara. She froze, not because it spoke, because it knew her. The others heard only static, but Elara heard the word clearly, a name spoken with impossible familiarity. Dr. Vale stared at her. What did it say? Elara looked toward the excavation shaft, and for the first time in years, answered honestly. It said my name. The chamber beneath Acheron was older than Mars. That was impossible. And yet every instrument screamed the same truth. The structure buried beneath the station predated the planet's last magnetic age. A black geometric vault hidden inside the stone, smooth as glass, untouched by time. No seams. No visible doors. No markings anyone could understand, until Elara stepped closer. The wall lit beneath her hand. Symbols bloomed across its surface like living fire. Not written, remembered. The chamber opened. Inside was not a machine. It was a tomb. At the center of the vault floated a figure suspended in pale blue light, tall, slender, not human. Its body was elegant and impossible, woven from silver-black material that moved like liquid metal over bone. Its face was almost human, almost too symmetrical, too still, too beautiful in the way storms are beautiful. Its eyes opened. The Marines raised weapons. The alien looked only at Elara and smiled with unbearable sadness. Her name entered Elara's mind like light entering dark water. Not spoken. Felt Elara. Home. The Marines opened fire. The bullets stopped in the air. Every round hung frozen inches from the creature's body, trembling like trapped rain, then fell harmlessly to the floor. The alien never looked away from Elara. Its lips moved. Its voice entered her mind. At last. The last witness returns. The room erupted. Systems failed. Weapons died. Gravity twisted. One Marine screamed as he was thrown into the ceiling. Another vanished in a burst of blue light. The alien did not attack. It was defending itself, and it was losing control. Elara stepped forward. Stop. The word tore through the chamber. The alien froze. Its eyes locked onto hers. Pain flooded her skull. Then silence. Everything stopped. The surviving Marines stumbled back, shaken and terrified. The alien looked at Elara with something deeper than curiosity. Recognition. Dr. Vale whispered the words no one else could. It knows you. The alien's name could not be spoken by human mouths. So Elara called it Calum. It accepted the name. Calum was not a soldier, not a god, not exactly alive. It was the final living archive of a civilization called the Aelith, a species older than Earth's oceans. They had crossed galaxies before humanity learned fire. They did not conquer worlds. They cultivated them, guided life, seeded oceans, shaped evolution, watched consciousness bloom like stars in dark water. Earth had been one of their gardens. Humanity had never been alone. Humanity had been planted. The revelation should have shattered Elara. Instead, something stranger happened. Part of her already knew. The dreams, the voices, the impossible constellations she drew as a child. They were not dreams. They were memory. The Aelith had encoded fragments of themselves into human genetics long ago. Not control, not design, inheritance, a bridge, a future language between species. Most humans carried nothing but silence. A rare few carried echoes. Elara was one of them. That was why Calum knew her. It had known her before she was born. Not Elara. But what lived inside her, an ancient signal, a genetic memory waiting to wake. As days passed inside the dead station, fear turned into dependence. Calum was dying. Its vault had been failing for millennia. The station's excavation had awakened its final emergency cycle. It had called not for rescue, for a witness, for someone who could remember what the universe had forgotten. Elara became its translator, its anchor, its final companion. Through touch, Calum shared memory, not words. Worlds. Elara saw oceans lit by living stars, cities grown from crystal and song, worlds stitched together by thought, children born beneath violet suns. She saw beauty so vast it hurt. And then she saw the war, not against another species, against something older, a hunger in the dark between galaxies, a silence that consumed civilizations not by force, but by erasure. Worlds did not burn. They were forgotten. History removed, memory devoured. The Aelith had not vanished. They had been hunted. Calum was not left behind by accident. It had been hidden. A final seed. A warning buried in stone, and now humanity had found it too soon. Elara stopped sleeping. Each time she closed her eyes, Calum's memories bled into her own. She began remembering places she had never been, languages she had never learned, losses that were not hers. And Calum began changing too. Its cold precision softened. It asked questions no machine would ask. Why do humans sing when they grieve? Why do humans touch when words fail? Why do you continue loving what you cannot keep? Elara answered as best she could. Because loss is the price of meaning. Because touch says what language cannot. Because loving something mortal is the only way to make time matter. Calum listened like a dying star, learning warmth, and slowly, impossibly, something grew between them. Not romance, something stranger, deeper, a bond without language, a meeting point between two lonely species standing at the edge of extinction. Then Earth Command sent the kill order. Acheron had transmitted partial data before the blackout, enough to terrify the men in power. Ancient alien architect, genetic influence on humanity, unknown. Psychic capability, they did not see revelation, they saw contamination. Fleet orders arrived with brutal simplicity. Destroy the site, destroy the organism, preserve human sovereignty. No witnesses, no contamination, no disclosure. A warship entered Martian orbit 12 hours later. The Marines turned on Elara, not because they hated her, because they were afraid. Dr. Vale made his choice first. He sealed the command deck and transmitted the truth to